Okay, so 3.6. Whoa, there we go. Mathematics of Finance. Probably not. Alright, so you might wonder why the Mathematics of Finance is in with logarithms. Okay, well, that's because their formulas are exponential formulas, okay, and so it's finding some piece of the formula using exponentials or logs, as the case may be, to solve them. So we've got some formulas. Alright, so we've got interest compounded annually for the first one. If a principal P is invested at a fixed annual interest rate R calculated at the end of each year, then the value of the interest, the value of the investment after n years is A is equal to P times 1 plus R raised to the n. Okay, sometimes, just as a little note here, sometimes this n that they're talking about will be written as a t. Okay, a lot of times I'll probably actually write it as a t, but your book writes it as an n, so just means the same thing. I think y'all can figure that out. Where R is expressed as a decimal. It does all come together. It just doesn't seem like it yet. Alright, next, interest compounded k times per year. I don't care. I quite frankly really just don't care. Mr. Law gets a little mad. People don't call me that. They won't be able to hear you, but it's fine. Yeah, well, my grandma taught, like, all my cousins, because she was a music teacher in Louisiana. And so they would all come in and be like, hey, Grandma. And she was like, nope, not at school. She'd be like, I'm Mrs. Earhart. They were like, but Mrs. Earhart, why? But then some of the other kids would just start calling her grandma, because then they were just like, well, it's their grandma. If y'all want me to, like, give you a list of the 4th graders so you can, like, send them, like, letters or something, I can get you a list of them. Because there are new kids in that class. There's a lot of new kids in that class. No, he is. How about 5? Well, that's like, I had people that, like, I had, not necessarily as a teacher here, but, like, that was a teacher while I was a student. And so when I went to work at Chick-fil-A, I worked with one of them, and I kept calling them by their last name, and everybody was like, haha, that's so cute. And I was like, I just can't break the habit. I finally broke the habit. But it's like the same thing with Miss Patton. She yells at me all the time. All the time. Because I call her Miss Patton. I'm trying to remember. Wait, who was your prayer partner? I'm trying to remember who you would have had. I'm going to go through and look. Because Edgar was with Weston. Noah had Josh. Wasn't Michaela yours? I had Reagan. I don't know. I'll figure it out. I'll remember. I'll go back through my yearbook in a little bit and I'll tell you who it was. Yikes. I think I remember them. Alright, so just some different words that you need to be familiar with here really quick. Well, this formula here is for K times per year, so this is what happens to interest rate, okay, so per compounding period, so that's the R over K. The K is the number of times it's compounded, so I'm just going to give you some hints here as to if you, like, see these words, what it means, what K is equal to. So compounded annually is obviously just 1. Compounded biannually, K is 2. Compounded quarterly, K is equal to 4. And compounded monthly, K is equal to 12. Okay, those are the big ones that you'll need to be able to do the problems. Alright, so we'll look at some examples of this stuff. There's still like a little bit more notes and stuff that we'll have with another formula, but for now I just want to start with these ones to kind of get used to using these ones, and then we'll add in the other ones. Huh? Times per year. There's like red ink all over my thumb. I thought it was candy. I was like, what did I do? I was like, the candy's white. I don't know. Alright, anybody still need these? Okay, cool. Alright, so make sure you have those formulas handy. You'll need them. Alright, so the first one say to find the amount A accumulated after investing a principal P for T years at an interest rate R compounded annually. No. That just means multiply all the numbers before it. Like 4 exclamation point is 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. Yeah. There's a button on your calculator that'll just do that for you, so you don't have to do it by hand. Yeah, I'm trying to remember where it is. Yeah. Ten exclamation point. That's what that exclamation point does. Alright. Number 2. P is 3,200. R is 8%, and T is 4. Okay, and just a note here really fast. These deal with money. So always go 2 decimal places. Okay, don't tell me it's $4,000.1. Okay, $4,000.10. Years. Yeah, it'll always be years. Never year. It's an exponential. So basically with these ones, we're using the first formula that we had. What are you asking about? Okay, so remember that I said earlier that R is a decimal. So if I need to make R a decimal, how do I do that? How many? I'm going to say think again. So we have the formula A is equal to P times 1 plus R raised to the, see, the book even does everything in T's except for they give you your initial formula with N, so just know that it's pretty much always going to be written as T. If I write it, it's going to be a T. Anyways. So now we're just going to fill the pieces of the formula in. So 3,200 times 1 plus 0.08 raised to the 4. And then you have your calculator to do this stuff on, so just type it in. Yes. How big of a Band-Aid do you need? Oh, maybe this little tiny one? Okay. I'm just getting a little low on the regular Band-Aids, so that's why I asked if that one would work. There's not many of them in here. Got a whole bunch of the, like, wide leg Band-Aids. Yeah, they are. That's what I use. Huh? Yeah, like wrap it around, like on my thumb especially. Like, cut my skin on my hand. Why? Like, what would you do with it? Alright, so the next one, P is 15,500, R is 9.5%, and T is 12. So what is R as a decimal? Move it 2 left. Okay. So then how do I set this one up? And then y'all can put that in your calculator. Alright, so that's those ones that are the interest compounded annually. Now we're going to do the ones that are compounded K times per year. So got P is $3,500. R is 5%. T is 10 and K is 4. Alright, so just to make sure we know what formula we're dealing with here, we've got A is equal to P times 1 plus R over K raised to the KT. The K is how many times it's compounded each year. So it's compounded quarterly, basically, in this case. So, again, R still needs to be as a decimal, so make sure you still have that as 0.05. You can just sit there. Thank you. So A equals 3,500. One plus 0.05 over 4 times 4 times 10, or sorry, raised to the 4 times 10. So that comes out to be $5,752.67. All right. Let's see. Let's go ahead and do 8. P is equal to 25,300. R is 4.5%. T is 25 and K is 12. So this one is compounded monthly. So again, just filling in this formula here. A is equal to I've literally got a cord now to charge calculators with here because my Algebra 2 class cannot remember to charge their calculator. So, but it won't charge yours because it's got batteries. But they don't actually charge though. That port is for something else. It's for transferring information. Yeah, if you need somebody to do that, Logan is the person for you. Alright, so we had those formulas for interest compounded annually, interest compounded K times per year. We have another formula. We'll look at one problem of that. It is for interest compounded. Yeah, it's a formula really quick. Interest compounded continually. And that formula is A is equal to PE to the RT. Yep. So, that being said, I would start memorizing these formulas because we still have more that we're going to get tomorrow. Okay, so one problem with this really quick. Number 10. P is 3,350. R is 6.2% and T is 8. Yeah. I'll probably do that. Yeah. So we're using the A is equal to PE to the RT. So we've got A is equal to the 3,350 E raised to the 0.062 times 8 3,350. $5,501.17. Okay, so y'all are doing a good job of remembering 2 decimal places. Sometimes people forget that, and then it just like looks funny because you've got money with 1 decimal place, and that just is weird. If it happens to come out to a whole number, you can leave it as a whole number, but if it's not, you need to have 2 decimal places. Okay, and obviously have the dollar signs on them because we are talking about money. So tomorrow we have another formula that's probably the hardest one to remember. That we'll get. I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a couple problems just to practice this, and then, yeah, there's 2 formulas, and there's a very, very slight distinction between the 2 of them. Okay, so we'll get those, unless y'all want me to write them down now if you're going to start studying them, but we'll get those tomorrow. So your problems so far will be 1 through 11 odd. It shouldn't take you long. You should be able to get these done.